Hello, Stuart. Hello, Jessee. Thank you so much for your time. Pleasure to talk to you both. And is it real or is not real, Stuart?
That is the question. That is the question. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
Some of the scenes, some of the segments look so real. And then I was like, did he create that? He was able to grab from, I don't know, from archival, from someplace else, from another case. I don't know. It's kind of a mix of images and everything because to be honest, I watched it without reading anything, without watching the trailer. So I was like,
Oh,
okay.
good. That's the best way to watch it, I think.
And then when I was like doing the research to interview you both, and then I was like, oh my God, I thought everything was real. I was like,
nice. Well,
and then it's great. It's great. So Stuart, I want to know like the inspiration for that and why do you think people love true crime so much?
oh, well, yeah, I mean the two go kind of hand in hand. I made a movie over a decade ago called Grave Encounters, which is a found footage style horror film. And that movie has kind of some documentary elements in it. It has some interviews and whatnot in it. And I always just thought it was a cool way to tell a horror story, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it or anything. I knew I kind of wanted to do some kind of documentary horror movie, but I didn't really know what it was yet. And then flash forward to the pandemic and it's 2020 or whatever, and the documentary Tiger King comes out. And Tiger King is a huge phenomenon. Everyone loves it. I love it. It's amazing. But the thing about Tiger King is that it's at its core, it is a true crime documentary. It's a true crime story, even though it's got all this really ridiculous and kind of comedic stuff. It is a true crime documentary, and it sort of just occurred to me at that moment that true crime really was super popular and it was everywhere, and that I wasn't the only person that liked these weird horror stories about murder and mayhem, and actually everyone really liked the stories. And so it seemed like the timing was right to make a film like this. As per why I think everyone likes, or why a lot of people like true crime, is I just think that because of the nature of usually the crimes have happened in the past, so there's something that you're reporting on now, but it's something, a crime that has been usually solved. Not always, but oftentimes there's something horrible that's happened, but it's been solved. The perpetrators have been caught and they've been brought to justice on some level or whatever. And I think a lot of the time it's like true crime kind of holds your hand and it allows you to experience these really horrific stories in a safe kind of space, in a way where someone can kind of explain the details, what happened, to some extent, maybe kind of what the person was thinking, what the motivation was. And I think it helps to, it makes these stories less scary and more accessible to people as a result. So yeah, I don't know. That's for some reason the documentary format just allows people to kind of let their guard down and experience these really horrific stories. People that normally wouldn't want to watch that kind of thing suddenly will.
Yes, exactly. I love the format. I think you did the idea was really, really great, so I love it. I love it. So Jessee, when you read the script, like what attracted you to this project and especially to Mr. Shiny?
Well, I was originally approached to be production designer, just through kind of our network of filmmaker friends. My name had come up to Stuart, and I'd kind of looked at his stuff, Grave Encounters, and some of the all of his background, kind of vetting each other out. And when we were first talking about the film, it was because it's an indie film. It's like, yeah, it's kind of found footage. So even some of the members of the crew are going to be kind of jumping in and playing roles. And as I read the script, it was like, really? Well, who's going to be playing Mr. Shiny? I have some experience playing bad guys. I was in this movie called The Vault in 2017, where I was also a production designer and played the heavy. And Stuart had gone and watched that and apparently liked what he saw. So it was a really, I don't want to say inspired performance, but it was just a matter of like the idea of being able to kind of occupy this truly evil character and just be as creepy and weird as possible was really, I think, probably the biggest selling point is, I get a chance to kind of be this type of serial killer, fictional serial killer that, Michael Myers or Jason or any of these crazy guys, of be able to kind of, try and dial in all of those into my own version of that. Condense everything down into kind of my own crazy serial killer guy.
Amazing. I love it. So I'll come back to you, Stuart. What was like your biggest challenge? Because I bet you did a lot of research on recreating. When you don't need to tell me which scenes you recreated, but what was your biggest challenge there? Like recreating the scenes or going to the archivals? What was like the challenge on that?
I mean, the challenge is just, I guess, just trying to get a lot of different material and not a huge shoot, because the movie is just composed of a lot of mixed media. You've got police body cams, you have surveillance cameras, etc. And I think the biggest challenge was probably just being able to get everything, because the way we scheduled the movie was kind of unusual. Usually if you have like a fake news segment, it's given 0.001% attention of the production. It's just kind of an afterthought. For our movie, they were the main thing. We would spend half a day just setting up a fake news segment that literally is like 2 lines of dialogue. Like, it was in a lot of ways very, it didn't make sense. It's not how a normal movie would usually do it. But I just knew that those elements were hard to get right. And you see it a lot of the times. It never makes sense to me. You watch some $200 million movie and it has fake, crappy looking news footage. And you're just like, that doesn't look real at all. We know what the news looks like every day. Everyone sees the news. So I think it was just putting the time in, and spending the time when it was needed, and knowing how to allocate time basically to get it.
Yeah, I love it that, like you mentioned, the news, the segments, the news segments, and I love that if it's the old ones, it's like very like grainy, low resolution, and then it comes like not today, but like more current. It's like a more clear. I love that.
That all comes down to like, the best way to do that kind of stuff is always just really shoot on the same cameras that they actually shot in. So that's what we do. It's not like there's filters or anything. It's like my North Star whenever I'm making a movie like this is just do it as real as you can. If this is what the news was in 1995, this is the kind of camera it would really be shot on. It would look really bad. The news from that era looks really bad. It's standard definition. It's not even HD. But, that's the charm to these kind of things to me. And I just love that kind of thing.
Amazing. And Jessee, you aside from being Miss Shiny, you said that you were production designer, right? From the movie. What did you create and what was like the challenges? There is anything that you can share with us, like no spoiling that you recreate or not? You know what I mean?
It was being found footage. You want to try and be as realistic as possible. Obviously, you want to try and build this world that doesn't seem like it's so structured like you do in narrative films. In this, obviously, budget is always a concern. When you dress out a set, you want to fill this whole world. In some places we were lucky enough to walk into, and it was a home that somebody lived in. So we had pretty much a suburban family home. Other places we went to were empty houses. And part of the unique challenge with this is normally we'd have a monitor with a camera set up. So I can see this is the shot we're going to get right now. So I can dress this area. We don't have to worry about what's back here because the camera's never going to see it. But when you have 5 police officers with body cameras running around, you never know what they're going to see. And in fact, I wouldn't even know what they did see oftentimes. It was just a matter of, we just have to kind of like, hey, you guys go into this room, make sure you look this way, don't turn around. So without knowing what was actually being shot or what we were even setting up for the shot, other than what Stuart had, told me and what he had planned, and then blocking out the actors, it was kind of uniquely kind of nerve wracking of like, did we get it? Did we get it? And Stuart's like, no, we got it. Trust me, we got it. It's like, I have to kind of lean back and trust my director this is what we got. And I think it actually worked out really well considering I wish you could have seen some of the, the other side of these sets that the cameras don't see, where it was just big empty houses, like just nothing there. And we were able to, with our limited time and money and budget and the creativity of the entire cast and crew, to kind of make one corner of something look incredibly real. And then, to Stuart's credit, in the edit and shooting and all of that was really what kind of brought it all to life and stitched it all together to make it that much more of a real life experience.
That's great. Yeah, that's the magic of filmmaking. Love that. And Stuart, come back to you. Why San Bernardino? Could it be another place, another state, not California? Why did you pick San Bernardino?
It just is a strange place out there, and it seemed realistic that a horrible murder spree could take place in the Inland Empire that no one had heard of. It just seems realistic to me. So that's why I said it there. It seemed plausible because the Inland Empire is a strange, sprawling area, and anyone that's been to the Inland Empire knows that. David Lynch made a movie called Inland Empire, I think, for a reason. It's a strange, surreal place. So it's. Well,
if I may say as well, in terms of believability, people throughout the world, you always hear about this big city, and then there's this city right next to it that you've never heard of, that has loads of people, that has its own culture, but it's just outside. So all the news and everything is about Detroit or Chicago, but you don't hear about this other neighborhood that's right there, that's almost as big of a city with almost as many people. You just don't know about it because the big city overshadows it. So having, a series of murders happening in not a small town, but it's not LA. So, national news doesn't cover it because it's not Los Angeles, so it is that kind of little pocket of culture, which I think lends, to Stuart's credit in writing it, lends that believability, is it's right next door to a big city. You wouldn't think it could happen here.
Yeah, exactly. People sometimes don't think that would have happened. And also the editing part. And actually the question is, from the moment that you wrote the script to have this final product that everybody is going to be able to watch it in August 8th, how long did it take for you? And on top of that, the editing part, how long did it take for you to condense in this an hour and 35 minutes?
Right. Well, the short answer is it took about 4 years up until this point, from the kind of beginning of me writing the script. It took about a year to write the script, and then we shot the film about 3 years ago, and a little under 3 years ago. It will be, I guess, in October. So it's been a long time, and the editorial process took a long time. This movie is very much a film that was made in post-production and made in the edit. I was working on it continuously for probably 2 years. At re-editing it, I mean, we went actually back and shot a whole new section that wasn't in the original script. I watched the first cut of the movie and realized that the end didn't work, and that I needed to add a whole character and a whole sort of other plot line. And what was great about this movie is, and it was kind of the idea in the beginning, was that the movie worked in such a way where you could, if an actor wasn't good, you could basically remove them and reshoot their entire thing, and it wouldn't affect anything else in the movie because there's, these interviews that happen. So, we went and reshot some stuff. I was constantly changing things and reworking on shots, and it was a long process of post-production.
That's amazing. I love it. I really enjoy watching. I still have in my mind what is real, what is not. So I cannot wait for your next project. And I just want to thank you so much for your time, Stuart, Jessee, and a lot of success for you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Let me stop.
If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.